My fascination with flight started early. I always knew that I would get my pilot's license. My earliest memory involving aviation, I must have been 3 or 4 years old, watching my dad fly over, as he promised, and rocking the wings. I think I might have been hooked right there.
Stuart's love of aviation was real obvious to me. I was a pilot, and when we would go on a trip with our family, Stuart always wanted to come up and co-pilot. I'd let him push a few buttons and made a few noises.
One day I was sort of anxious about Stuart when he was doing aerobatics and flying and going from Bentonville to London. And my mom goes, "I never worry about Stuart. He's been flying since he was 8 years old." I go, oh, well, that makes me feel better just thinking of his long history.
Roger, come here. Are you nervous? You nervous?
So when I got to London, I was a newly minted pilot, and I ended up finding the West London Aero Club, which is at White Waltham Airfield, and I found myself just going out there basically every weekend that I could, spending the day, doing a few flights, but really being drawn to the community at the airport, and still have a number of close friends from those days that I have been flying with for a long time. As I began to sort of move back to the US, I thought, well, we need to create something like that here, and what better spot to do it than here in Bentonville. And so that began the development of the fieldhouse. I think Dayton Fieldhouse is really just another place for the community to come and gather. Whether you're a pilot or not, whether you're into aviation or just curious, it's kind of a starting point for all kinds of different journeys. Some of them are in the air and a lot of them aren't.
The way I see the airport fitting the community is unlike some I've seen as I go around the country. The airport feels like an amenity that belongs integrated into the city versus, in some cases, an outcrop that sits out over here and only where airplanes and pilots hang out.
So we just had a study, and about $79 million generated from some of the economic activity here at the airport. I think it tells the story really of Bentonville. We're about innovation, and if aviation is a big piece of that pie and we can show the numbers from that, it helps tell that story with the community of why it's important.
Parallel track along those lines was the development of the grass strip network out in the Ozarks, so we began to build this idea of Fly Oz. Backcountry aviation is a wonderful way to improve your skill set. You learn how to land on a spot, you learn how to land on grass, you learn how to control your angle of attack, your power, your pitch to hit precise spots. A lot of times you're on shorter runways, you don't have a whole lot of margin for error, so you have to kind of always be conscious of what your envelope is. We've got over 75 grass strips within a 100 nautical mile radius here at Bentonville. Growing up in Arkansas, Fly Oz, to me, became the opportunity to show people the natural beauty of the state. And if you could get there by flying, and there was something to do when you got there, whether it was shooting skeet or fishing or swimming in the swimming hole, going for a hike, Fly Oz fit within our kind of outdoor recreation work more broadly, celebrating the forests, the streams, the lakes, all that Arkansas has to offer. So Philip and I met in 2011. I just always thought Philip was incredibly talented, and we effectively decided to start an aircraft business. And we figured we'd start with something we both had a passion for, which was aerobatics, and that led to the GB1 GameBird. I'm really proud of Game. It has come a long way. We've got about 115 people today, and I really hope the future's bright for the company, for both Game and their employees there, but also for Northwest Arkansas, because I think it can make a difference for the community.
So the GB2 is the next project of the business. The GB2 was brought to us as a project by a customer, one of the early GameBird customers, used to run a firefighting business in Colorado. The discussion started around how can we improve the existing fleet. So the GB2 was born as a clean sheet design as an answer to today's aerial firefighting needs. The GB2 will be unique in the firefighting industry in a way that it's the first ever purpose-built airplane for this job with today's environment in mind.
One comfortable +2 and 2200, and let's see where that lands us on T's and P's.
The work that Stuart's doing in regard to vintage aircraft for Warbird is very special and significant, both with his personal collection and with the Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum. The overall mission of FHCAM and Stuart personally with his collection is to educate and inspire. We want people to hear the airplanes and to smell them and watch them and create a feeling or a spark within people to hopefully encourage them to be involved in aviation and kind of answer the question of what's next and how can I help get there.
Starting about 10 years ago, we kind of start to see everything everywhere all at once starting to change in the future of aviation, from flying cars to drones to hypersonics and all that sort. The first way we really engaged on that topic was in 2018, where we co-hosted the UP.Summit here in Bentonville together, where we brought people in from around the world to talk about this future without really an agenda. And magic happened. Companies were founded, companies were funded, partnerships were formed, and everybody said, that was awesome, keep doing it. Stuart's vision for the future of air mobility is really helping create a fertile ground for great ideas to come up. Bring great people around, give them the tools, give them the inspiration, and allow them to run.
How do I describe Stuart? That's a really hard one because I've known him for so many years and we've grown up together. The one thing I will say about his personal life, my friendship with him and him in the air, is he's always got it together. He is considered in everything he does, and he's always got a hold on what he needs to do. And we've been in lots of situations, as any experienced pilot has been in, where things go wrong. And Stuart's always the guy I want on my wing when that happens.